And we're back. Welcome to my preview and predictions for the semi-finals of the Under-21 European Championships. 4 teams remain, and in unbelievable circumstances, coming into these semi-finals, the only group winner is Germany. All 3 of England, France, and the Netherlands all finished runners-up in their group, but beat the group winners of the other groups. It is only Germany that have won their group and have made their way to these semi-finals. Unbelievable set of quarterfinals we had over the last few days, but these are the 4 teams that remain. So before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you enjoy all of my prediction series. Share it with a friend as well if you want their opinions on what's going to happen in the semi-finals. Subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on when I post my final prediction video later on this week. And if you want to be even more awesome, if you want to support the channel going forward, you can do so by hitting the join button at the bottom of your screen right now to become a member of this channel to support us going into the new season. But here they are then. We have 2 semi-finals taking place, both taking place tomorrow. Very rare that you actually see that nowadays, that you have both semi-finals on the same day. Normally they have one day, one the other. But I actually prefer this. I think semi-finals should be played on the same day, so you then have equal amount of rest before the finals. But you have England against the Netherlands and you have Germany against France. As you can see at the top of your screen right now, we did pretty well in the quarterfinals. 3 out of 4 in terms of the predictions. I'm not going to complain too much about that. And yes, I know I did Spain and England to draw, but we always say when it comes to knockout football, I always will pick a winner, and the winner is who determines whether or not I got the prediction right. I did a draw with England winning. England won in 90 minutes, so England prediction was still correct. But without any further ado then, like I say, let's get straight into it. We start off with England taking on the Netherlands. And to be fair to England, after putting in their best performance of the tournament so far, they pretty much breezed past Spain in the end, which I'm really pleased about. I did say that I thought Spain were very, very poor and quite frankly didn't deserve to win their group. And thankfully, despite England's poor performances in the group themselves, they managed to get it going in that game against Spain. And despite one defensive mishap which resulted in a penalty, England were in control for the vast majority of the game, with captain James McAtee putting in a player of the match performance. And obviously his side, Manchester City, doing pretty well in the Club World Cup at the moment as well. For the Dutch, I mean, honestly, how are the Dutch here? I'm happy as an England fan. Don't be wrong, I am so happy the Dutch are here because I did not want to play against Portugal. But like, how are the Dutch here? Like, they didn't deserve to get out of their group. They were shocking in their group until they finally got it sorted in the final game. They then go down to 10 men after 20 minutes against Portugal, who were, in my opinion, the best side in this Under-21 Championship so far. Then Portugal miss a penalty. Then they batter them for the entirety of the game. Then the Dutch get one counter-attack and Poku scores, and here they are. I'm baffled. Like, I'm actually baffled. At no point in that game did the Dutch look like they were going to win that match until they scored with 5 minutes left. And even then, Portugal then still battered them for the remaining minutes before the full-time whistle and still didn't score. So you've got to say fair play to them. What they've done there is an absolutely incredible achievement. And to keep clean sheets against both Ukraine and Portugal, especially Portugal with 10 men, is a real achievement for them. The one thing you would say is that I said about how good Portugal were on the breakaway, with their pace, with their drive, with their determination. Potentially, that red card was a blessing in disguise for the Netherlands because it meant that they had to sit back, which completely nerfed all of Portugal's pace and drive because they had nowhere to go. They were just put up against a brick wall. So who knows? Maybe that puts them in good stead for this semi-final. But I have to say, as an England fan, I am feeling pretty confident going into this because I think we do have enough creative quality. You think about the style of player that England have. They don't really have the pacey players. They have the tricky, creative flair players, which could suit really well against how the Dutch have defended in the last couple of matches. That said, coming into it, both sides are going to be missing a few players for this one. Firstly, England are going to be without Tyler Morton. He is going to be missing for them due to 2 yellow cards over the course of this competition so far. But for the Dutch, they are going to be without 3 players going into this quarterfinal. Firstly, Wrench, who I believe is actually the captain, but Wrench, the right back, he is going to be suspended for this one, as well as midfielder Taylor. Both of them picked up 2 yellow cards over the course of this tournament, and of course Van Bommel, who picked up 2 yellow cards in the space of a minute for his red card against Portugal. He is also going to be suspended. So you would definitely say it is advantage England in terms of the team lineups of who is available to them based on who's played in this tournament so far. I'd also say in terms of quality of player, England would be just about favourites. The Dutch do have a few talented players, but I do think on paper, England's side is slightly stronger. These two actually played a friendly back in November. That ended in a 1-1 draw. But to be fair, you look at the starting lineups of both of those teams, more than half of each team is not at this competition. So you can't even really read into that. Ultimately, I might be being a bit biased, but I do believe England should be winning this game, and I expect England to win this game. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory to England. But I say that hesitantly because, again, clean sheet against Ukraine, clean sheet against Portugal. They are very tough to break down, and if they play this right, the Netherlands could definitely get the result they need here. That then takes us to the later kickoff, and it is Germany against France, and my word, what a pair of matches these two played out in the quarterfinals. Both teams won 3-2, but both teams under incredible circumstances. Germany were through. They were under any pressure. They played really well. They created their chances. They scored their goals. Italy got a player sent off. Then they got another player sent off. And then they equalised in the 96th minute to force extra time with 9 men. Like, how does that even happen? But to Germany's credit, they dug in, they kept going, they kept going, they kept going. And in the 117th minute, they were then able to get the 3-2 victory. But you have to say, fair play to Italy. And I did say in that quarter-final video, Italy may regret not winning that group. And it proved to be the case. Because I'm pretty sure they would have beaten the team on the other side. I'm pretty sure Italy would have beaten England, and I'm pretty sure Germany still would have beaten Spain. But we'll never know. This is the way that the games have come out. For France, it was the late show again. Now, granted, it wasn't quite as late as they left it against Georgia, but still, 2 goals in a minute, in the 84th and 85th minute, I believe it was, to come from 2-1 down to beat Denmark 3-2. I said it was going to be an entertaining game. I actually got that game absolutely spot on, 3-2 to France. That's why the scores now say 2 rather than 1. But it sets up a really intriguing semi-final here because these two sides are both full of attacking quality, but both look a little bit defensively dodgy as well. So I would expect a very high-scoring game coming into this. In terms of the team news, no suspensions for Germany, no suspensions for France, but there is a slight concern over Mats Simmer in defence for the French, who had to go off injured with just 10 minutes to go. Ironically, right before they did then have their big comeback. So at least from their point of view, it didn't affect their overall performance. Also coming into this, both of these sides are actually on really good unbeaten runs. Germany are unbeaten in their last 19 matches in all competitions, whereas France are unbeaten in their last 8. So something's got to give here. I think it's going to be a very entertaining game, like I say. From what I've seen from both of these sides so far, I would definitely have Germany as the favourite. Obviously, as we've already mentioned, they are the only side that won their group stage, their league coming into this. All the others were runners-up. So I would fancy Germany to be the favourites coming into this, but I'm not that confident about it. I think if the French play to their full potential, they're more than capable of beating Germany, and obviously vice versa as well. I expect goals. There's been a fair few 3-2s in this tournament so far, so I'm going to go for 3-2 once again, and I'm going to go for a 3-2 victory to Germany, which would set up the old rivalry once again. England-Germany, they faced each other in the group phase. I think it's going to happen in the final, but that's the way I see it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Who will make it to the Under-21s final this weekend? Let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll see you again very, very soon.